Well, I am back. Good to see all of you again, and I hope you think it's good to see me. I've taken a bit of a break recently from doing videos, just for the sake of having a break. I mean, after doing videos since 2015 on and around Brexit topics, it was, it was, yeah, you know what I mean. You get the idea. So, but now, today, given that it's the 5th anniversary of the Brexit vote, I think it's useful to have a little look at where it's going, what the polling says, what people think about it. And so let's dive into what some of the recent polling is around it and see where we are and what our attitudes are on Brexit at the moment. First up, Bloomberg have been reporting on 12 surveys with a sample size of 2,000 adults, tracking them through from 2016 to now, and say that if the referendum were held again today, then Remain would win 53% to 47%, with 82% of people saying that they wouldn't change their mind. So we are largely still stuck at that 50-50. Yes, it's nudged to Remain. Yes, it's nudged to sort of like a little bit of regret, but it's still pretty much trench warfare. And this government have not convinced people that Brexit, well, they've not convinced Remainers that Brexit is a good idea. Interestingly, if you ask the question, would you want to rejoin or stay out, then it's 48% for rejoin and 52% for stay out. So that's a slightly different question, because it means to rejoin, you might have to take different terms, but also I think after 5 years of bludgeoning battle, people are so knackered from the whole battle that that's a bit of a barrier to rejoin. But that could change over time. Now, what do people think of how Brexit's going? Well, do they think that Brexit is complete? There was a YouGov poll just out today. Do you think Brexit is complete or not? 9% say yes. 9% of the British public think that Brexit is now complete. 72% say no. So with the Remainers, then it's 6% think it's complete, and with Leavers, 13% think it's complete. And saying it's not complete, 81% of Remainers and 71% of Brexiteers, Brexit voters. So if you're a Remainer or a Brexiteer, everyone in the country thinks, nah, this isn't finished yet. There's still lots of loose ends and messy bits that are not complete. So this is quite interesting, given that 2 years ago, right throughout the summer, and then going into the election in the winter of 2019, it was all about get Brexit done. Let's get Boris Johnson in, and then we'll get Brexit done. 2 years later, only 9% of people think that Brexit is done. So that is very interesting. YouGov did a poll the previous day on whether people thought that Brexit was going well or badly. In sum total, we've got very well through to very badly. 5% very well, 20% fairly well, 25% neither well nor badly, 18% fairly badly, 20% very badly, and 13% don't know. So that's a well total of 25% and a badly total of 38%. A lot more people think that Brexit is going badly. How does that break down across Leave and Remain? Well, as far as Leave are concerned, 45% of them think that it's going well and 16% think it's going badly. As far as Remainers are concerned, 8% think it's going well, 0 incidentally, no one thinks it's going very well for Remainers, and 66% think it's going badly. What's a bit more interesting than this is that if you look at Conservative voters, that Leave trend is accentuated. 51% think that, it's going well, and a lower percent think badly. And similarly with Remain and the Labour vote, Labour is more extreme than the Remain vote. So the axes are really hauling Remainers, mapping onto Labour, and Leavers onto Conservatives, and that's being accentuated. So that's quite interesting. Now, why do people think that it's going well or badly? Well, there was a poll done back at the time of actually leaving, where 36% of people thought that we had gotten ourselves a bad deal, and 21% thought we'd gotten ourselves a good deal. And even leavers, only a third of them thought we'd gotten a good deal. So that's one of the fundamental forces driving it at the moment. Now, in terms of whether people think that it will get better over time, they marginally do. If there was another poll asking if over time, do you think we will come to appreciate being outside the EU or regret being outside the EU? And 44% appreciate and 37% regret. So a lot of people are thinking that it's not good now, it isn't finished now, it's not producing the goods now, but over time we'll get comfortable in that zone. And then as the question whether we were right or wrong to leave, the last poll from back in February put wrong at 46% and right at 40%. So essentially it's painting a similar picture of like, maybe it wasn't the best decision. And so maybe it's got problems, but working to get back in would be a bit of a mountain to climb, and there's slight disinterest in that. And that's the balance of things. But it's amazing to see that 48% of the population actually want to rejoin. And this is, there was another poll done at the beginning of this month, 2nd of June, on whether you would support or oppose a campaign to rejoin. 17% strongly support, 19% support, 17% neither support nor oppose, 10% oppose, 29% strongly oppose, and 7% don't know. So that's 39% opposition and 36% for. But in terms of outright opposition, it's still only 39% that would be against it. So I think the situation is this, that overall, on balance, if you talk about the British public as a whole, it's still divided. It's still stuck in the trenches that it was before. The government haven't convinced the public that Brexit is good. People largely think that the deal wasn't great, and think that it's not yet finished. But there's a slight tendency to think that over time it might get better. However, I think over time, if more problems accumulate, there is just more and more clearly strong base there that would argue to get back in. There is a chunk, a third of people that would strongly oppose such campaigning and so forth and so on. But there's clearly ample room for it. It just needs to build up in a sensible way. And this is where we are 5 years after the Brexit vote. A lot of us said it would be a long, drawn-out, fiddly process. In fact, Boris Johnson was saying the same thing himself back in 2012 and 2013, and yet here we are. So one of the things that I think we should do is, the pro-European community, is think about just how we, over time, keep building on the networks that we have, and keep arguing for that pro-European collaboration, pro-European rebuilding. I mean, the Conservative Party, for example, always loves to rebuild the things that it trashes. So police numbers trashed, and then, it was their big thing, we're going to put 20,000 more bobbies out there on the street. The NHS trashing that came with the 2012 top-down reorganisation that they promised they wouldn't do. Now it's all about rebuilding the NHS and overturning those Lansley reforms. So you never know. Come the next general election, there may even be a slogan, only the Conservative Party can build back better with Europe. You never know. But certainly this argument is still open, and rebuilding is a long game, but hey, life is long, and you always do what you feel passionate about. So let's keep going and building that community and building those arguments, and see you again soon.